Good afternoon. So this is the command $POJQ comma all. So it is used to delete the job logs from the spool area. So after compilation and execution, we are getting the job number, right? So those job number and are stored in the job logs. So there is a limit for the job logs. So if you want to delete the job log from the spool area, so we used to give command $POJQ comma all in the session A in the server area. Okay. So there are two types of regions. So one is TSO. It is for batch modules. What are batch modules means? COBOL, JCL, Vision, and DB2. CICS. It is for online modules. So our emulator user ID is IBM user and password is SYS1. Okay. So coming to ISPF tool, what is ISPF means? Interactive System Productivity Facility. So by using ISPF tool, we can interact with the mainframe servers and we can create the datasets and we can display those datasets. So how to navigation for creating the datasets in ISPF? Choose option 3 utilities to create datasets. So in the ISPF tool also you can directly give in command line 3 point it will navigate to create the datasets. ISPF tool, choose option 3 utilities or DS list. So to list out the datasets we are created. So in directly also we can give 3.4 in the ISPF tool command line. It will directly navigate to open the datasets list. So we can write maximum length 44 characters for dataset list. And for every character, we must and should provide the dot qualifier. So we see this topic in naming convention. Okay. So in the command line, before the names, datasets names. So if you give D means it will delete the datasets. I means it will show the information about the datasets. S means information about the datasets or to see the outputs or any errors in the spool area we are using S only. Okay, E means edit to make the changes and save it. V means view mode, make the changes but not saved. B means to browse, we cannot edit. R means rename, to change the names. So if you are opening your PDS means you can use E mode edit. If you are opening other PDS means maybe your colleague PDS, uh, any system defined PDS, you can go open with V mode, view. Why? Because means if you make any changes opening in the view mode, the changes won't be saved. Okay, if you are opening with edit mode means what are the changes you did in the PDS or any member, the changes will be saved. So that's why open E mode with open edit mode, your own PDS. If it is any system defined or your colleague PDS, open with view mode. Okay. So if you open your colleague PDS or your friend PDS with E mode in the office means they will put escalation for you. Okay. So what are the coding sheet commands means if you give in the command like res, it will reset means it will delete the rows. COLS means columns. So to display the column numbers in the coding sheet means enable and disable the columns in the coding sheet. I means insert the row, D means delete the row. Okay. So coming to divisions, So in our COBOL program, every program starts from the divisions only. So there are four types of divisions in COBOL. So first one is identification division, and it is a mandatory division. So what it will tell means identity of the program. Identification represent the identity of the COBOL program. So identification division consists of system defined paragraphs. It contains system defined paragraphs. So they are program ID, program name. Means in program ID you can write the program name. Author, in place of author you can write the developer name or a program name. So installation. So in installation place you can write the organization or client name. Date written, on which date the code is started. Date compiled, on which date the code is compiled. Means if a developer start writing a code, so today he started means today date will be written in date written. So after completion of the code written and compilation, date compiled, date in the date compiled. So it will take minimum 2-3 days to complete any code for a developer to write any code. So they have to mention when they started and when they compile. Security, the purpose of the COBOL program. So these are all called to fix, we are calling that as remarks or programs in the real time. Okay, so currently we are using only program ID. In that we are writing our program name. So in real time we have to mention all these paragraphs or remarks. Okay. So in security we are writing the purpose of the COBOL program. Means why we are writing purpose of the COBOL program means, so if any of your manager come and check the program means, so he will directly check the security. So he can know that uh, he can know that which program you are developing by seeing the security. Okay. So in every COBOL program, identification division and program ID is mandatory. Coming to this, other installation, date written, date compile, and security are optionals. Okay. So we are calling this as remarks or labels. So this in program ID, it should be a user defined. Okay. So can I use same program ID name for multiple programs, Mitch? You can say yes. So this is my sample COBOL program. This is my sample one program. So identification division, I'm writing program ID SAM1. So in sample one also, I'm writing identification division program ID sample one. Okay. But at the time of compilation and execution, we are using program name, not program ID name. Okay, this is called program ID and this is called program name. Sample and sample one are program names and SAM1 are program ID names. So in the real time, the program name is referred as a program ID name. So in the real time, we are using program name as a program ID name. Okay, clear? So next division is, it is a environmental division. It is a optional division. So in environment division, so it will describe the input files and output files. Declare the input files and output files. So it should be followed by which division? Identification division. Means you have to write first identification division, then only you can write the environment division. So, and it is a optional division. So, mainly used in maintain the information and system details and file details. Okay. So, there are two sections in environment division. So, in previous class, we discussed about the COBOL structure. In first, we have writing divisions, sections, paragraphs. So, in the same way also, you can see here. So, environment first division is identification division, but there are no sections in identification division. We can see 6 paragraphs. Okay. So coming to next division, environment division is followed by the sections. So there are two sections. So first one is configuration section. So it will describe the source computer, object computer, and special names. So these source computer, object computer, and special names three are paragraphs. So using source computer, we can give the input for the ISTA emulator. Uh, Using object computer, we can give the output to the Vista emulator. So in special names, you can write dollar at the rate ampersand, etc. and special characters. All you can write it in the special names. So source computer means it tells about the system on which program is be compiled. Means what it is telling. So tells about the system which source program is to be compiled. Means what is the source program is ready. So they will check it and they will compile. Okay. So coming to object computer, it tells about the which source computer is going to be executed. Means here compilation, here execution. So syntax means 01 system source IP address inputs IBM user server, it is the output. So you can see the user here again. A general example. So there is a ATM, it is a object. So money, enter. So user output. You enter into ATM, you deposit some money and you withdraw also. Okay. So coming to next section, second section, input output section. So it is used to declare the input files and output files in file control paragraph. Where in file control paragraph. So in Visual input files and output sections is mandatory, but in COBOL it is optional. So if you are learning in Visual files, it is mandatory, but or in COBOL it is optional. So if we declare the files in COBOL program environment division, input output section is mandatory. Okay, in so what is file control means it is a paragraph. Using file control paragraph we can declare the input files and output files. So where means in the area B, so declare the input files and output files. Okay. So syntax is file control. You can write it in the area A from the 8th column. From the area B, you can declare the input and output files. Okay. So coming to third division, data division, and it is a optional division. So using data division purpose is to declare the variables and file structure. So using data division and I can declare the variables and file structure means layouts. Layouts means here in the sense of structure of files and variables. Okay. So if you are using files and variables at a time, no, data division is mandatory. You are using files and variables. At the time in the data division, it is mandatory. So there are three sections. So previously we have seen two sections, now three sections. In data division, environment division, only two sections. So first one is file section. So it is used to describe the file structure and file layout. Okay, what it is describing file structure and its file layout. Okay, so in Vism file structure is mandatory. Okay, so if you are not following the file structure, we can face the errors also. So by using FT class, uh, we are working, means we are designing the file structure in file section. So linkage section. So it is used to describe all the variables or variable structure. So it is mainly used in calls or subroutines. Okay. So working storage section, it is to declare variables or variable structure. Okay. Using working storage section, we can use declare variables and variable structure. So next division is procedure division, and it is a mandatory division. So you can write procedure division as an optional division or mandatory division. Why? Because means if you want to see any output or any logic you want to perform, you can write procedure division. Otherwise, it is optional division. So in procedure division, we can write your user-defined sections and user-defined paragraphs or logics. You can write in your you can write those user-defined paragraphs and user-defined sections also we can write. Okay, so using procedure division, we are building the logics. Okay, so how many divisions are there in COBOL? We have four divisions, and coming to sections, there are five sections. Coming to paragraphs, there are 10 paragraphs. Okay, so four sections are identification division. Here, so identification division. Okay, so next compilation and execution also. Okay, sorry, we have four divisions, five sections, and 10 paragraphs. Identification division, environment division, data division, procedure division. So five sections are configuration section. Okay, so next input output section, file section, linkage section, working storage section. Okay, so 10 paragraphs are program ID, author, installation, date written, date compiled, security, up to here 6. Source computer, object computer, special names. 3 plus, sorry, 6 plus 3, 9. One more. File control, paragraph. Okay, clear?